I never looked back. Republicans are revealing the breaking point moments that made them stop supporting Trump. BuzzFeed. I still kick myself and lament my voting decision in light of all that has transpired since. Below are your comments. I grew up in a medium-sized town in Georgia. I went to public schools when the civil rights movement was full on. Being white in the South, and raised by a man who was overall a good Christian man but with obvious prejudices that I could not quite justify even as a teenager, I too inherited some of. See more. I traveled to Europe during Donald's visit. The people of London were protesting his visit. People in other countries asked me how he could have gotten elected. It certainly wasn't by winning the most votes. I am, and will always be, a staunch Reagan Republican. I was the president of the Young Republicans chapter at my college, during the Reagan admin. My yard had Republican signs all over it every time an election came around. The GOP started losing me with George W. Bush's lies about the WMDs in Iraq. I think that we were justified in unseating Saddam, but we did it on false pretenses. People like Colin Powell were used as pawns to make the case to the UN. Nearly against their will. I stood by the GOP but was wavering. Back when Clinton was elected, I swore I'd leave America. He turned out to be the most fiscally conservative president in modern history. I even spoke to him once on the telephone. I was asked to conduct a funeral for his biological aunt. I was an ordained minister at the time. I didn't think Trump had a snowball's chance in a furnace of getting elected. I didn't care a thing in the world for Hillary and still don't. But I saw Trump as an ignorant charlatan right away. He has destroyed the GOP and embarrassed America. I live abroad today and know the sentiment of other countries. They think that the USA is a joke and they laugh at Trump. I pray for the GOP's post-Trump future. From my very first impressions of the guy, I disliked him. I have to admit that those first impressions were visceral. I never cared to watch him in The Apprentice, as I am not a fan of so-called reality TV. Once he became a candidate and started to listen to him, many of those first impressions materialize. As time went on, I learned to hate him. He is, by far, the most despicable public figure I have ever seen. He is not the cause of what's wrong with U.S. politics, he is its symbol, its incarnation. The U.S. is standing on the edge, not simply because of Trump, but for many things they continually chose to ignore. The courage of folk pushing back on Trump is amazing to me. Here's a bit of Trump said on his site this week. When I win, those people that cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences so that his depravity of justice does not happen again. 00. We cannot let our country further devolve into a third world nation, and we won't. Please beware that this legal exposure extends to lawyers, political operatives, donors, illegal voters, and corrupt election officials. Those involved in unscrupulous behavior will be sought out, caught, and prosecuted at levels unfortunately never seen before in our country. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.